I hope you have been reading newspapers in the last few days, right? And the most important issue in the news recently is related to Women's Reservation Bill. So, as you can see, this is a PRS summary or issues of consideration for the 128th Constitution Amendment Bill, that is the bill for Women's Reservation. Okay, so let's go into technical details like small questions. First of all, why do as a country we need Women's Reservation Bill? Okay, so that is the first question for you to think about it. Why do we need a Women's Reservation Bill? Second thing, like every coin have two sides, every bill, every issue, every topic will also have two sides. One side is people who will talk about, yes, we need a Women's Reservation Bill. The other side is people who consider this as a mere tokenism. We have discussed this term, tokenism. What is tokenism? T-O-K-E-N, tokenism. What is tokenism? Smile is the answer to all problems. UPSC topic. Okay, so you mastered it. Yes. Tokenism means just for the sake of doing things. Okay, for the sake of showing things. Like for example, why are we bringing in a reservation bill? We are bringing in a reservation bill for a women empowerment. So women empowerment will happen because of women's reservation bill. Okay, so some people say this is just tokenism. That means to get the votes of women, you are just showing that we are giving you reservation. Is reservation equated to women empowerment? Will it lead to? Yes or no? So that is one line of thinking. So that is the thought process that you have to develop. See, there cannot be 100% wrong things. There cannot be 100% right things. Yes or no? In every bad thing, there is also a good thing. In every good thing also, there is something bad. Okay. We waited for 75 years. For what? Women empowerment. Women empowerment, not reservations. Right? See, reservation is a tool. Never ever forget that. Reservation is what? A tool. That is why even this bill says reservation should be for 15 years. Okay. After that, government will reconsider whether the bill's reservation should be continued or not. If we go back to our original constitution, the initial days after independence, even the SC, ST, backward reservations, all these things were supposed to be a temporary measure. Okay, see, in western side and western countries, we call this as affirmative action. We don't call it as reservation. We call it as what? Affirmative action. That means historically injustice has been done to you. Okay, to support you, I am giving you extra bonus. Okay, not as a charity. That is your right. Okay, that is called as affirmative action. Okay, in India we call it more or less as reservation system. Now, are women not represented? What is the percentage of population of women? What percentage of Indian women, overall population are women? 2011 census, roughly 50%. Is an out of 140 crore population, how many are women? 70 crore are women. Yes or no? So 70 crore women are represented by how many women? So in comparison to your population, that is 50%, hardly 14% overall parliament is being represented by women. So proportion to population wise also you are not being represented. So that is why they are forcefully bringing in a change so that at least 33% seats will go to whom? Women. Okay, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Forcefully bringing something is good thing or a bad thing? Think, you don't have to worry about it, because if you understand this topic for the rest of your UPSC journey, you don't have to worry about lot of articles that will be coming. Right. What are the advantages? What will happen if we give 33% reservation to women? Right. So more women will be represented. First of all, the most obvious thing is more women will come to parliament. Because more women came to parliament, more women related issue, gender sensitive issues will also be discussed. Here we should not fall into the trap thinking women will come and discuss only women issues. No, women will come and discuss every issue. Within them, gender sensitive issues will also be discussed more. Okay, next, what else? What else can happen if more women are there in the public places? by looking at MPs, okay, more women will come out of their houses, get educated, aim to become something in their life. Okay, so more women in public places means more women empowerment indirectly. Positive spillover effects will happen. Okay, and above all, the social status of women will be different. The social status of women will be different. I will show you a small line. Right. Please remember this line. Okay, there is a difference between equality and equity. What is equality? All of you know equality. What is equality? What is equality? From school onwards, you know equality, no? Yes. What is equality? Equal opportunities. Think about it. It's on the board, right? We'll try to understand. Equality entails a reductionist quantitative aspect of justice without considering the intrinsic situation of socio-economic setup. Okay, whereas equity advances the agenda towards societal, moral, and ethical approach. What is the difference between these two terms? One promotes equality, the other promotes equity. Okay, here what India or most people should normally aim for is equity. Yes or no? Equity is a concept that people try to aim for. Equality is superficial in a way. If I say 50% reservation, okay, that does not mean even if 50% of the parliament is having women, will automatically lead to women empowerment. Yes, the best example is Sarpanch Pati. The best example is Sarpanch Pati. It is also called as proxy governance. What is proxy governance? The wife is the Sarpanch. The wife is the MLA, or the mother, sister, daughter, whoever is the lady of the house is the MLA, MP, or Sarpanch. But all the power is actually controlled by whom? By the husband or the male members of the family. This phenomena is called as Sarpanch Pati. Again, within this, there is no empirical data. There might be some research. Some people say Sarpanch Pati has come down. Some people say Sarpanch Pati is still very much relevant. Okay, so if more women are coming to parliament, that does not mean automatically women empowerment will happen. Why? Women are reduced to tokenism again. Yes or no? Okay, so we'll try to look at this article rather than just repeating the same points. Right. Now, next point. This won't be a new experiment in India. If we bring in more reservation to women, we already have that. Why? At 73rd, 74th amendment, around 1/3 of seats are reserved for women. Okay. In India, more than 21 states have given 50% reservation to women at local self-government. That means at panchayat levels or local governance level, around 50% of the members are whom? Women only. So India have good number of around 15 to 16 lakh women representatives at the local self-government level. So that experiment is working very nicely. Okay, next. But at the state legislature level, if you look at the state legislature numbers, it's only 9% roughly. Okay, it's only 9% roughly. At Lok Sabha level, it is only 15%. That means of entire population, only 15% of the MPs are represented by women. Okay, next, within them we have dynasty politics, we have nepotism, yes, we have tokenism. So all the 15% is also not entirely empowered women. They are also being representing someone. Yes, earlier there used to be a very famous example, Lalu Prasad Yadav and Rabri Devi. When Lalu Prasad Yadav was thrown into the jail, automatically his wife became the chief minister of the state. So that is pure tokenism. Who is controlling everything from the jail? Mr. Lalu Prasad, right? So like this, just because somebody is MP that doesn't mean they have power. Okay, real empowerment happens at grassroots level. Woman has to be empowered. Okay, next. So why this bill? Why now? There have been good number of justifications, committees, reports suggesting that women have to be introduced through logic. That means by force. So many committee reports have suggested that at least 50% of the women should be 50% of the seats should be reserved for women. Okay. See, what is supposed to happen organically? Organic means what? Naturally. 75 years of independence happened. Okay. 50% of the population is women. Right? More women are getting educated. Automatically, more women should come to the politics. And then what will happen? Automatically more women should win. This automatically didn't happen. There is a social, cultural, other baggages. Yes or no? So that is why we are taking a different route, that is giving reservations. Okay. In that sense, it's a good thing. If we wait for too long for things to happen organically, it won't happen. But if we throw in some bomb, some changes might happen. For example, well, I will tell you two examples of organicness. As far as I remember, Priyanka Gandhi, the Congress person, Priyanka Gandhi, she announced in Uttar Pradesh elections that 40% of the seats will be given for women. How much? 40% of the seats will be given for women. And I also think Baiju Janata Dal, the Odisha party, okay, they have announced around 50% of the seats for women in Lok Sabha level. Okay, Baiju Janata Dal has said 50% of the seats will be reserved for women at Lok Sabha level. Okay, and Priyanka Gandhi said 40% of the seats will be reserved for women. Okay, like this, some parties, some people have tried to bring the change, but society may or may not have accepted it totally. Is or no? Who are the mainstream parties in the country? BJP and Congress. Did they make any waves at national level? No, right? See, BJP did not say our party will give 33% of seats to women. They said everybody should give. There is a difference between a party bringing in change. If tomorrow Prime Minister Modi says forget women's reservation bill, BJP will be the change it wishes to see in the world. BJP will announce what? 33% of all seats, MLA, MP seats for women. Automatically that will force Congress to bring in the change. Yes or no? And somebody like Kejriwal might take this as an opportunity and he might go a step ahead and say 50% reservation. Yes or no? Think about it. Okay, politics, that is organicness. One person doing the change will lead to another change. Okay, in 2000s, people used to ask for 24/7 electricity, roads, water. Yes or no? Now every election manifesto will have what? Vikas, development. People are asking votes on the basis of what? Development. Nobody is asking votes on the basis of my caste, community, religion, and all those things directly, explicitly, right? People are voting for what? Vikas. In the same way, if a party announces that I am going to give 33%, then next party might announce 40. You might announce 45, somebody else might announce 50, but we cannot cross 50%. Right? So we can give organically again. A party can go 60, 70% also, but that has to happen how? Organically. So like this change can happen in different ways. Okay. So here we are bringing in a bill so that every party will listen to us. Got my point? Okay. Next. So in 2008 we had a bill. Most of the data that you see in the websites, blogs, or any newspaper articles, their analysis is based on the 2008 Women's Reservation Bill, which was passed in Rajya Sabha, but it failed or collapsed due to dissolution of Lok Sabha. So, right? So that bill couldn't become an act. So, what are the major things? 1/3 of the seats are reserved for whom? Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies, and also legislative assembly of national capital of Delhi. Okay, these three places, how much reservation? 33% reservation. Now, yesterday somebody was asking me, sir, will that mean 33% of all government jobs, all private jobs will also be reserved for women? Yes or no? Think about it. Yes, 33% of all seats in UPSC given only to women. Good thing or a bad thing? Yes. Empowerment means empowerment, no? Empowerment should happen in all places. But they are expecting a trickle down theory. So start with the top, slowly that change will happen to the bottom level. So that is one thing. But if, in my personal opinion, I always believe organic changes are much more long lasting. But sometimes India have this colonial mindsets. We are so used to somebody ordering us things to do. If tomorrow Parliament says 33%, we will be happy to do that. But organically, we don't accept such changes. Okay. Next, as I said, the reservation system is for the period of 15 years only. But after that, they have to discuss, debate, and whether to keep it or not is a subjective thing. One small problem here you have to remember is instruments should not become institutions. Instruments should not become what? Institutions. What do I mean by that? Reservation is what? A tool. Women empowerment is a tool. Today, women are saying we are not empowered. Tomorrow, governments will say we have given you 33% reservation. What else you need? But the question is, are you implementing the 33% in letter and spirit? You got my point? Yes. So, instruments should not become what? Institutions. Reservation is a tool for what? Empowerment, upliftment. Okay, it's an opportunity to empower people to live up to their best potential. Okay. Next. Issues to consider. What are the issues to consider? Are there any other alternatives? This is number one. Number two, is reservation for women an effective instrument? Yes or no? Is it effective? See, it's like a gray area, right? I will try to tell you. Imagine this is a junction. Okay, visible? It's a junction, right? You are standing here in the junction. X is you. Okay, people are saying if we give reservation, women will be empowered. Somebody else is saying this is just tokenism. Somebody is saying this is empowerment. But I am where? I am in the junction. I don't have any data. So does you. You are selling me that it will lead to women empowerment. She is saying that it will lead to tokenism. But can I say she is wrong and you are right today? No. It will only take 10 to 15 years to prove who is wrong. 15 years down the line, probably one day when you are reading Hindu, you might find, Women's Reservation Bill introduced in 2023 was mere tokenism. Empowerment did not happen. Okay. Or you might read that was a turning point in Indian history. It led to total change of Indian politics. You can read either of the headlines, but we will read it only after 10 to 15 years. So that is the problem with such kind of bills. Please keep this in mind. Don't say, sir, 100% it will happen. Nothing will happen 100%. There will be problems. There will be issues. Okay. But we will only get better and better. Democracy is more of what? Progress rather than destination. We are not aiming for destination. Democracy is what? Progress. Today, reservation is not there. Tomorrow, reservation will be there. Day after tomorrow, issues in reservation will be solved. Some kind of women empowerment will happen. Something is better than nothing. In that hope, we are discussing this particular topic. What? Women empowerment is what? Not a destination. It's a process. It's a journey. Just because you have given women reservation for Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, you should not stop worrying about women issues. You should not take your accelerator of the education of the girl child and all those things. Everything should happen simultaneously. Clear? Next. Are there any other alternative methods? What are the alternative methods? First, we will discuss what is mentioned in the article itself. In the article itself, they have given two suggestions. One is every constituency can have two members, two MPs, one male MP, one female MP. That is one suggestion. What do you think about that? Two MPs for every constituency. What will happen? First, we have to increase the number of MPs. No, 540 seats are there or 500 seats are there. We have to double it. That means we have to have 1000 MPs. If not for every seat, there is terms and condition. Let's say even for 250 seats, you are having dual constituencies or dual membership. That means we have to increase around to, let's say 700 or 800 MPs are required. Okay, so increase the number of MPs to accommodate more women. That is number one. Number two is reservations within the political parties. Reservations within the political parties. If you see this particular chart, this chart clearly says percentage of elected women and direct correlation to quota in political parties. That means, as I said, if BJP can announce 50% of the seats are reserved for women, or Aam Aadmi Party will announce, or Congress will announce, it will create a spiral effect. Yes or no? Just imagine tomorrow TDP announcing 33% of all seats. For whom? Women. Or 40% of the seats. Then automatically the other party will be forced to announce similar things, or else he will be considered as anti-woman. Nobody wants to lose women's votes, right? Yes or no? Like this, there is one suggestion: reservation within political parties. This may or may not work in India, because in India there are other dynamics like caste, winnability, and other factors. Okay, and cultural thing also. For example, the so-called oldest democracy in the world, that is USA, still doesn't have a woman president. Why? Women are considered as weak. Cultural things, right? Normally, men are strong and dominate. They take decisive decisions. Women are timid, emotional, and all those things. So I don't vote for women. So it can be a social thing, it can be a cultural thing, it can be a caste. There are so many dimensions. I hope you understand. Yes. So if political parties in India bring the change, that will also be fantastic. The other one is having two seats for every constituency. Now, one more suggestion I read long ago is organic way. It will take decades, but it's a very nice thought process. That is, from Sarpanch level to MLA, from MLA to MP. Yes or no? That means at local self-government, we already have 50% reservation. There are so many women sarpanchas who are doing fantastically well. So why not political parties pick randomly some 5 or 6 sarpanchas and make them MLAs as a promotion? Yes or no? That is true ground level empowerment. Okay. So again, I am not believer. I am not saying that this will automatically lead to women empowerment. It might take decades. Okay, but 5 MLAs coming from very grassroots level. Whom will they work for? The grassroots level people. If 2 of them are wonderfully performing at MLA level, also promote them to MPs. Give them portfolios. Okay, so automatically there is some kind of change at the grassroots level. A ordinary woman coming from a very normal family. First she became a sarpanch, then she became a MLA, now she is a MP. It will give hope to the woman at the grassroots level that anybody can become a MP. Right now in India, a middle class family never even considers politics as a career. Yes or no? Think about it. Do you even know one single person from a normal middle class family, unless there is a historical political relation, who wants to become a politician? Yes or no? Even if there is a good social moral ambition, he will be persuaded against that idea. Okay, so politics is not a career in India. Ordinary people do not come into politics. Why? Money is the single biggest factor. You need to spend a lot of money. So that is why political parties give tickets to people with a concept called as winnability. What is winnability? Your ability to win. Okay, you have 250 crores. Your opponent have 40 crores. Who will win? probably you will win, given that both of you are same in every other aspect. Money, marketing, yes or no, social media, WhatsApp forwards, holdings, yes, distribution of money in the last minute, all these things will lead to your winnability. So if you can spend your own campaign, then I don't have to spend money. Okay, again here the cultural context is many women are not in public places, many women are not in businesses, many women are not that rich. Yes or no, women do not have assets. Okay, so their ability to win might come down. Okay, so all these points you have to consider. Right. One more point this article tries to make is this positive things. For example, if you see the second line, orange line, it talks about the convention of elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. Okay, this is a convention of UN, right? It talks about women should not be discriminated and women should be empowered in political and public life. That means discrimination should not be there in political and public life. So what happens if more women are coming into political life? The green color lines in the highlight will tell you what happens. Is it visible? Yes. So women elected under the reservation policy at the local self-government level are invested more in public goods, closely linked to women's concerns. See, there was an article few years ago in Hindu, a very famous female scientist. Okay, she was appointed as a director or something like something to some ISRO related building. Okay, in the entire building, they didn't have a restroom for women. Okay, when she inquired about it, nobody even had a thought that one day women will work in this building. You understand, right? Like science is a bastion for men. Okay, or promotions and all those things are for men. Okay, she made this literal comment saying, this is a problem. Okay, small things like men don't even bother. There is not even a single restroom for women. That thought didn't come because all the building was filled with men. For the first time when a woman came, she noticed an issue. So issues coming from a woman perspective. Probably a differently abled person will have a different complaint about the same building. Yes or no? About the society. Yes, probably men won't even bother if there are street lights not working. Okay, if street lights are not working in a colony, men don't complain normally. But women and children might complain. So gender sensitivity, sensitization and all these things will be brought out because of more representation of women. Okay, next. This point we have already discussed. Being proxies is nothing but sarpanch pati. Okay, proxy governance. Okay, and lastly, in spite of sarpanch pati, there is a general social standing for the women. Okay, enabled them to make meaningful contribution. Not every woman is a victim of sarpanch pati. A genuine original voice might come occasionally. That is a good thing for the society. Yes. So these are the major takeaways from the article. Okay. Again, this is PRS website. Anything related to polity, important articles, bills, summaries, you can find in this website, PRS. PRS Legislative Research. So their website is prs.india, prsindia.org. If you just type PRS in Google, also they will take you to the website. These summaries are all free. You can download them, read them. Almost all bill summaries are available in PRS. Okay, and their research team is really fantastic. Don't do PhD on this particular topic. Nobody is going to bother you because one question might come: what is the impact of women reservation bill, good and bad? But you need to have some amount of idea. Nobody actually have an empirical data. Some articles are there which are totally supportive. Some articles are there which are totally critical. Okay, but at the end of the day, something good will happen in Indian society, at least because of the discussion. At least because of what? The discussion. Today we are discussing this because the bill has been introduced. Now more women, more young men in India will also come to know about what is Women's Reservation Bill. And luckily Prime Minister Modi himself has spearheaded this. So all the WhatsApp universities will be filled with gyan about how women empowerment should happen. Yes or no? So that's a good thing for Indian women in a way. Right. So these are the major takeaways. Any confusion so far? Right. So what are the things that nobody is discussing? Majorly it is rotated after every delimitation exercise. Delimitation means constituencies are delimited on the basis of population. This year in prelims they have asked what is the weight of votes. Is the weight of a Pondicherry MLA equal to weight of the Madhya Pradesh vote? Like this they have asked about the weight. So please focus on the term delimitation. One day polity classes will be done, that then you will understand, but focus on what? Delimitation. Okay. Next, at the same time, will all these things matter without these reforms? The red color line. Check criminalization of politics. That is a mains question in itself. What is criminalization of politics? What is criminalization of politics? Anyization means increase, right? More criminals are coming to the politics. We have discussed at this point already. More criminals are coming to the politics. Next, as I said, criminals have 3x more chance of winning than normal people. So Milan Vaishnav book, I told all those things. Next, beside that, there is a very, very important line which says internal democracy in political parties. What is internal democracy? What is internal democracy? Do you actually have a voice within your political party? For example, a woman will go and say, I will tell you, not women, think about it. In Punjab, MSP was a serious sensitive issue, right? BJP government decided to introduce farm bills, and the farmers in Punjab were very hesitant. So the BJP members or the parties which were allies of BJP were not in support of the farmers bill. Okay, they had to resign so that they can criticize BJP. That means if I am in BJP or Congress or any other political party, can I criticize my own party? Unless there is a party whip, I can criticize. Normally the practice is the leader, that is either Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi or Mr. Amit Shah or Prime Minister Modi. These are the only people who can speak on behalf of the party. Everybody else is just a party member. They have to follow the line of the party or else leave the party. There is no internal democracy within the party. Okay, so that is a huge problem. And even in parliament, if a bill is introduced, as she was saying, if whip is introduced, okay, then nobody can vote against the party line. So like this, internal party democracy has been more or less made into a presidential style. Yes or no? That is a very important point. And influence of black right, influence of black money. So this topic comes under GS paper 2, election reforms. If this entire discussion is about election reforms, and second thing is about women empowerment. So mains questions will be in the lines of what are the impacts of the bill, what will happen to women empowerment in comparison to other countries. Cite some international examples where such bills are there, or some countries have successfully empowered women, right? Are they actually empowered organically or through force? So like these questions will come. Clear? Anything else important in the news? What other things you have read in the newspaper in the last 3-4 days? We have not read newspapers? No? Sorry? Genetically modified crops, that GM. GM mustard. Okay. Then? See, UPSC preparation is all about issues and topics, right? It's all about topic based preparation. For example, India and Canada. What is happening between India and Canada now? Hmm. Hmm. Even if you take the recent newspapers or any day's newspaper articles also, you can see, right? Canada. What is happening in Canada? That is the term I was looking for, right? Khalistani. Who are Khalistanis? See, you can link it to lot of things, but I'm not going into post-independence consolidation, but simply understand there are group of believers who think that a part of Punjab can have be a totally separate country. They want to be separate from India. Okay, that movement is called as Khalistani movement. Brindanwale was the most famous person. Operation Blue Star, Indira Gandhi, and all these things are related to that. So if you are interested, you can read about what is Operation Blue Star. Okay, so that will tell you about what Khalistani movement. So after a point of time, you have to simply understand diaspora. What is diaspora? People of Indian origin moving to different countries. For example, some people moved to Canada, some settled in Europe, some settled in Australia, some in different countries. The people from India have settled. Most of the Sikhs, that is from Punjab, have settled in Canada and UK. Okay, so the diaspora in Canada is strongly dominated by Sikh population. Okay, next. In India, after Brindanwale, more or less, the Khalistan movement got dried up. Okay, it got more or less dead. Government did not support it, funding and all those things have been stopped. So Khalistan movement is more or less alive in the minds of the people who are settled in Canada and Britain, okay, or Europe. Okay. Second thing, what most people don't know is recently during the farm bills also, in front of the embassies of UK, US, Britain, Canada, Indian flag has been burnt and all these things have been done. Okay, it is again done by diaspora. Okay, the problem is not with the diaspora, the problem is with Pakistan giving the ISI, that is the Pakistan government army, funding and keeping the Khalistani movement alive. Okay, so who is keeping actually the Khalistan movement alive? Not the Khalistanis per se, but it is actually the Pakistan which is funding lot of money. Okay, even during the Kartarpur Sahib corridor, which is a corridor connecting India and Pakistan for the Gurudwara. Okay, that is a corridor between India and Pakistan. If you enter it, you can go to Pakistan and come back. It's a very nice corridor for Sikh pilgrimages. Okay. Even that also has been used by Pakistan for promoting Khalistani separatism. Okay, so it is a very clear trend that can be established that Pakistan is not happy. Pakistan wants to keep Indian issues burning, if not in India, through other groups like Khalistani groups. Okay, this is one side of the story. The other side of the story is the present Canadian Prime Minister, right, Justin Trudeau, is not happy with India. For some reason, he is in a minority government. Okay, he has to take the support of the Sikh groups which are keeping his party alive, government alive. So he is playing to his domestic audience. You have to understand, he is playing to whom? His domestic audience. He has to stay in power, right? See, every politician thinks from his own point of view. So he is criticizing India so that the groups which are supporting him in Canada will appreciate him. It has nothing to do with India. It has everything to do with his own domestic politics. Okay, but clearly everybody knows that Canada is not such a powerful country in comparison to USA and everybody else, right? And India is an emerging global superpower, and everybody knows India willingly does not jeopardize the relations, right? Even if something is true out of this entire drama, okay, India is doing it only for the sake of national security, right? By supporting the pro-Khalistani groups, encouraging the pro-Khalistani movement, no government is doing a favor to itself. It is only making India an enemy of itself. Okay, so this is the background that you simply needs to understand. Khalistan movement is a very old movement. It almost died, but Pakistan made sure that it kept it alive. And obviously, some genuine believers will also be there. I won't say nobody is actually a genuine believer. Everybody is a, right? Probably even they don't know that they have received money from Pakistan. Okay, then comes the diaspora fact. It's all about the stories you tell to each other, right? Okay, so that is one major point you have to remember. Clear? So don't read too much into the India-Canada relations, but again, just understand it's about domestic politics of Canada. India has responded very nicely to Canada. As the issue evolves, we can find. So anything more like that? Think about it. No? No other issues in the news? Next. I don't know how many of you have read this article. Limits of identity. How many? All of you read? No? So you might have even forgotten that you have read this article, no? Civil society, which paper? GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4. Paper 2, civil societies, right? Pressure groups, civil societies. Next, this article also applies to internal security. So this article is from 15th Hindu, The Hindu. Okay, this article talks about issues in Manipur. Okay, let's not go into exactly what that article is trying to tell you. I will tell you the summary of the article. First of all, institutions are very, very important for democracy to survive. What are institutions? State, yes or no? State is an institution. For example, police, army, or any government department. Whom should they work for? For the welfare of the people. So if I look at a police officer, irrespective of his religion, I will believe that he will solve my problem. Yes or no? But if I lose the trust in the state, then where will I go? I will take law and order into my own hands. Think about it very simply. Okay. Today, somebody stole something from me. I will go to the police station and say, sir, please help me, and they will help me. Okay. But tomorrow, if I came to know that the person who stole the product and the police officer, both of them come from the same community, religion, or whatever, okay, and that person is helping the thief, not me, will I ever go to police station again? I will lose the trust in the system. I will lose the trust in the system. Because of one officer, I lost trust on the entire police department. Yes or no? In that sense, there is a red line in the red paragraph. Hindu uses a very powerful term that is called as ethnicization of law enforcement. Okay, aided by state government. Okay, what is ethnicization of law government? For example, there are two groups, cookies, Métis, Joes, and all those things. Forget about them, X and Y. Okay, if the state is supporting whom? X community. X is a ethnic group, Y is a different ethnic group. People started believing that state is supporting whom? X is committing crime, state is not doing anything. X is encouraged to do crime, state is not arresting them. But Y does something, immediately state will arrest Y. Or X is killing Y and the state is not stopping the killing. All these things are called as what? Ethnicization of law and order. Okay, or law enforcement. See, you can call it in different names. Communalization of police, ethnicization of law and enforcement. You get my point? A state is supposed to be what? Neutral. It should not support X, it should not support Y. It should be neutral. But because in Manipur, a group of community or a group of people stopped believing that the state is working for me, they are encouraging what? The riots. Understand the simple solution? Okay. Did you understand what I tried to tell you? In Manipur, a group of people are not cooperating with the state. Why? They believe that state is not working for them. This has led to a cycle of violence. And by not believing in the state, they are encouraging whom? The people who are fighting for them. Okay. So this leads to which problem? Law and order problems. Okay. So that is why state should never indulge in politics which will encourage ethnicization, communalization and hate. Right. See, in 2024 mains you might find a question, what happens when institutions get diluted? When institutions get diluted, people will lose trust in institutions. In 1960s in Telangana, for example, a landlord has occupied your land. In 1960 in Telangana, a landlord has occupied your land. Will you go to police station? As a poor farmer, you will probably go to the Naxals rather than the police. That is where Naxal movement got its support from, because Naxals were people who were fighting the Jamindars. Yes or no? So every injustice, inequality leads to people taking law and order into their hands. But it took 40 years, 50 years for the state to rebuild the trust, winning hearts and minds. If you look at this year mains question paper also, that is exact term that UPSC have used. Yes or no? Hundreds of times in my classroom I have mentioned that term. Winning hearts and minds is more important. That means Manipur people, irrespective of community, should believe that police officers, law, state, central government, everybody is working for whom? For them, not for particular community. It will take decades to heal this mistrust. Okay. So never ever encourage communal politics or politics, domestic politics in the name of hate. It will only cost the system. You might win this election, but overall for next 20 years, Manipur will always have burning issues because of this lack of trust. That is what Hindu is trying to remind us very nicely. Do you by any chance remember a term called as CBDR? Common but differentiated responsibilities. Did I discuss that in the class? If I tell the concept, probably you will remember. Developed countries have created more pollution. Developing countries have created less pollution. So who should support whom? Developed countries should support the developing countries. Why? I polluted more. Okay. This concept is called as a CBDR, common but differentiated responsibilities. From your expressions I can understand probably we never discussed CBDR. Don't worry, because it will take some time to explain. Some other time I will try to remind you. But whatever I am trying to tell you, please remember the essence, not the article. Okay. Replace Manipur with Andhra Pradesh, replace Manipur with Telangana, any state, the formula is same. State should work for everyone. So like this, if you can develop templates, no matter what the question is, you can happily write nice points. Okay. There are some good articles, there are some bad articles. Did you read that article by Shashi Tharoor about the parliament? Shashi Tharoor, yesterday or day before yesterday, he wrote an article in Hindu. He talks about new parliament in India. No? Shashi Tharoor, you know who is Shashi Tharoor? Is a MP. I think 17th. This article, 18th newspaper. So please try to read that article by tomorrow. We'll discuss all the articles slowly, right? So as I said, these classes are not a substitute for your newspaper reading. You should read newspapers on your own, but I'm only going to add value. As you progress in the class, we will focus only on the value addition part. Clear? Any questions? No? On the Women's Reservation Bill, I will give a small handout. Just focus on that handout. Don't make any notes, PhD stuff and all those things. What is needed? What are the pros? What are the cons? What is the way forward? That's all. Okay. Not reading papers. Why? Time. Reading papers every day. Today also. One. If you don't look at sir, you don't have to ask. Are you reading papers? No. Yes. No. Yes, sir. Okay. Right. Any questions? Do you think that impact of women's reservation will bring change in the patriarchal mindset of the people? Yes. I believe that some change will definitely happen, because when Indira Gandhi was brought in, okay, even she was assumed to be a Gungi Gudia, right? Like she was a doll. They can manipulate her and all those things. But even today, if we have to give some example of women empowerment or what women can achieve, or can a woman take strong decisions, I can cite Operation Blue Star or 1971 liberation of Bangladesh, right? So in spite of all her flaws, even today Indira Gandhi is respected because of her two strong decisions. So a woman can take very courageous decisions. So she is a shining light. So like that, more and more women might come to the picture, right? Yeah. So that is one way to think about it. Patriarchy will be diluted at least a bit. Let's hope for the best. Yes. Any other questions? If not, I will end the session. You have a class now? Okay. Fine. Thank you all.